I do have safety measures in place for the Antarctic expedition. This includes a communications plan with my communications manager out in Vancouver Island. She's a friend of mine who's taken on the post with a lot of eagerness, so thank you to her. So what will happen is, in the event that something happens, whether I switch on emergency mode on my beacon or I call for help on my satellite phone, I'll be calling her, and from her she'll take the necessary steps, whether it be calling the logistics company in Antarctica or calling the insurance folks for the permission to remove me from the ice, because that's a costly flight, that emergency flight, or whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, there is a plan in place, and it will start with my communications manager executing certain steps depending on the circumstances. If any trouble pops up that puts me in any danger or is putting me in a bad way, I won't hesitate to call it off at all. I mean, I want to come back in one piece with all my fingers and toes and my spirit intact as well. So it's very important to have the courage to call it quits if it's necessary. It's a tough thing to do, calling it an expedition, or if you're competing in a race and you have to drop out. That sort of, it takes guts to make that sort of decision, and I won't hesitate to do it in this case. Before I go on any sort of major expedition, I am sure to put my affairs in order back on the home front, provide people account numbers, have a will, that sort of thing. It's important to have your affairs in order, I think, because there's a very high possibility that something might go wrong on these expeditions, and you don't want to leave your family not only dealing with the grief of you being gone forever, you don't want to have to give them the added stress of having to sort out your affairs on your behalf. So yeah, I sort that out before I go, and I leave it with the envelopes and everything and information with a friend in the event that something happens. But yeah, we got to sort it out. But hopefully nothing will go wrong. If the worst happened, I would want them to know or remember me as a person who lived life to the fullest. Man, you have one life to live, so go out and live it. I mean, don't live what someone else wants you to live. Don't get caught in someone else's trap. Go out and make yourself happy. It's kind of being selfish, but at the same time, there's other people being selfish for negative reasons. Why don't be selfish for a positive reason? And wake up out of bed looking forward to what the day holds, and having long-term goals that you're working on little projects along the way to get to that long-term goal. It's pretty exciting, and I encourage everyone to do it themselves.